So it doesn't matter if you said in a nice way, they're gonna find something because they don't agree with the logic. And that usually happens. Like I can go on a shade room comment and then hear the women come for me. You're a da-da-da-da, you're a pick me, you're a whore. I'm like, well, okay.
Can I ask you guys a question? I don't know if you guys watched Pop the Balloon this last week, and I hate to bring it up, but I have to because we're talking about this. Where a guy, nice gentleman, came on with a lineup of women, and he simply said to the first woman that, well, he was asked if that was his type, and he just said no, very nicely. He said no, and the host asked why not, and all he said was, just the hair. I prefer longer hair. He gets down the lineup to another Black woman, and because she pops her balloon, and they asked why she popped. She said, well, a few things, but I didn't like the fact that you said her hair was too short, and why are you talking about Black women's hair? He said it in the most, he didn't even talk about her hair. He just said, I prefer longer hair. She made that she went off on him because saying you shouldn't talk about Black women's hair. Leave our hair alone, and we can wear. And I'm like, oh my God, I was offended. And then she makes a statement and says, I bet your mama's hair was short because she's Black. But none of the other women checked her. None of the other women checked her about her saying Black women all have short hair because we're Black. Nobody did to her. So to me, it's just like women, no matter how you present the truth to a woman, as a woman, we don't like to hear the truth 95% of the time. And most of the time, it hurts our feelings because it's the truth, but the men should be able to tell us the truth. Who else is going to tell us? Because we don't even hold ourselves. We don't even tell each other the truth. We lie to each other.
That's true.
Brittany, I think they probably didn't want to say nothing because the girl was probably unbalanced. Like, I do believe in holding other women accountable, but in that situation, I just think I could see why they didn't say nothing to the girl because she sounded crazy.
She was a little off. Yeah. But I just feel like for her to try to defend someone else with the tone that she had for him, by him simply stating his opinion and his preference, the way she went on, it's like the other women were like agreeing with her. And to me, that was unnecessary.
Oh,
they were like, exactly. And I'm just like, he said it nicely. What other way could he have possibly said it? They just don't like to hear the truth. That's all.
They all crazy.
Us women, imagine, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say the last thing. Imagine if these men acted how we act when we come at men. Imagine like, oh, you too short, you're a midget. Now imagine if the men came at us the way that these women do when they don't like to hear the truth. Like, I'll be telling men on Clubhouse, oh, you too short. I'm taught in your standards. And they take it like grain of salt. I'm like, no, I don't date baby daddies. But if you say that to women, it's an out war. If I bring up baby mamas or BBLs, it's an out war with them. Whereas men, they just be like, haha, okay, on the next.
I feel like they view it as like a form of rejection. So I feel like women don't deal with that very well. That's the main reason why they go against it so much.
Yeah.
I know it's weird.
It's okay.
Well, so did anybody disagree with what he said? Did he state the stereotype of Black women nowadays? Do you agree with that? I think he said they were rude. They don't respect male authority because some of them are by single mothers.
I think that it's unfortunate that I don't know if it's just his experience that he only has these negative things to say about Black women. I don't really understand the hyperfixation on the negative side of Black women, but I also understand that being anti-Black woman is profitable, or just being anti-Black people just in general is profitable. So when I hear this person written in this headline here, when I hear him speak, I think it was Kamara that says he's a mirror to Black women. I wouldn't agree with that in the least.
He's not a mirror because he's not us. He's not a. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jazz. I'm sorry.
Correct. But the thing is that there's no way he can be a mirror when obviously he hasn't experienced any good side of Black women. I think him honing in on all the negative stereotypes, that doesn't help anything. I mean, you scream and holler about Black women being overweight. I was just at the gym today. Black women in the gym. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's in the gym with Black women. I don't know, but it's just like this hyper fixation on the negative side, and it's just like, what's the end goal here? Like, what's your purpose in doing this? It's like, okay, I get it. Like, you just feel like you gotta say it. It's like, okay, so after you say it, then what? Like, you're not helping anybody in this community by being so hateful. And when it comes to that person, I've heard him say things like, bring back bigotry, bring back racism. He has a very dark energy, a very heavy spirit. I don't think he means good by any means. He has really dark circles in his eye. It just seems like he lives for the darkness. He's a little scary to me. So I don't really take what he says to heart at all, because he is not a reflection of my community. He doesn't know my community, but he is choosing to hyperfixate on the negative sides. And he's also a person that has said to women that if you were raped, you chose him. Like, you chose the person that raped you. And after hearing a man say that on a platform to women, it's just like, we shouldn't even take this person seriously at all when it comes to women or relationships, because he's just so hate filled. Why would you want to bring back racism? Who benefited from that? You know what I'm saying? And let's be clear,
Oh, man.
racism never left. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still here. But I'm saying, like, why are you so gun-ho on like caping for all the negative things in society, all the hate-filled things, and then try to mask it as freedom of speech? Like, yeah, you have the right to say what you want to say, but there is consequence, which is why allegedly he's been demonetized off of all these platforms. Because who is this rhetoric actually helping? There are people that don't want to be associated with this person because he is so fucking negative about everything all the time. Brands don't want to be associated with that. People don't want to be associated with that. And it's just like, who are you helping with this rhetoric? Who are you helping? So as far as what he said about Black people being the most racist, listen, that's something that anti-Black people like to run with. That's obviously untrue. I'm not here to argue, but I can't listen and take what he says as fact.
When you ask who
Well,
was
I
he,
just
I feel like oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, but I know I just wanted to respond real quick to what she was saying, because she said something. She misspoke on what I was saying earlier. I know whenever I was speaking about Myron being a mirror, I didn't say to just Black women. I said he's a mirror to the people that he's speaking to. The people that are at his shows, it's not just Black women. So
Oh,
it's
you talking to about the panel?
multi people, it's multicultural people that are on his panels and that he speaks to, even if it's not just women. Whoever he's dealing with, he is a mirror. Anton literally just gave an example when he did speak highly about the Black women that was on his panel when he came. And I even watched that specific podcast whenever Anton had Myron on there, and he spoke highly about all of those women. And that is a time when there was no hatred, there was no negativity going on. So if we're going to speak about things, we need to speak accurately. And I just want to go ahead and say that that's your opinion. Your opinion is your opinion. That's very subjective. All the things that you were talking about is very subjective. But when it comes down to actual facts, Myron has shown time and time again, and will continue to show that he is a mirror. He gives what you give. Whatever you're giving out, he's going to dish that right back out to you. If you're giving out love and care and compassion, he's going to give that to you. But if you're giving out ugliness, you're giving out hatred, you're giving out, you're spewing out lies, you're doing all kind of stuff, he's going to give you that same exact energy. You're being ugly, he's going to be ugly.
Yeah, so I thank you for that, for clarifying what you said. But again, I don't think he's a mirror to anybody. I think he goes out his way. He sits in a room by himself and screams
He's sitting in a
about.
room with full of
Can I
people on a panel.
can I finish? Can
Those
I
women
finish?
asked to.
Can I
Those women
finish?
asked to.
Can I
I just
finish?
want to correct real quick before you keep
But I'm not
continuing
done
because you're
speaking,
not
so there's
talking.
nothing to correct.
If
I'm
you're
not done
not,
speaking, so there's
you're
nothing to
saying that
correct.
he's in a room
I'm
by
not done
himself.
speaking, so
He's not
respectfully,
in a room by himself.
Kamara, I'm not done speaking, so there's nothing to correct at this time. Thank you. So if you could just give me
He's
the
not in the room by himself.
if you could just please give me the respect I gave you while you were talking, that would be so great. And I love your haircut. Thank you. So, like I said, I don't think that he is a mirror to anybody. And like I have said, he does sit on his string when he's not uh, doing his show with the ladies and with the other guys that are on his show. He does sit in a room by himself on his stream, in Twitter Spaces, in all of these other streaming platforms that he's allowed on, and spews hate unprovoked. Goes and trolls women on Instagram who are minding their business, whether they are OnlyFans models or just regular women in general. He goes out his way to be hateful towards them. So, and this is a fact, right? This isn't subjective. You could go there's proof of this. So while what you're saying is, I'm sure that there are women that have said things to make him, I guess, go off and blow horn. I guess whatever a woman disagrees with him or claps back at him, I guess that gives him the right to be aggressive and rude to them. But like I said, listen, that's y'all friend. Y'all think he could do no wrong. I don't like him. I think he's not a positive person, especially as it pertains to Black people. So I tune him out. So you don't have to try to convince me of anything of what he says, because he has no value when it comes to my.
Well, we already know that you're not going to be convinced because you don't even watch his stuff. So you're just watching. You're just going off of clips that you see on social
No,
media. You're not actually sitting there
I
watching
actually
his show full
discovered
and full time and
you
time
don't
again.
really
So there's
He
so many
thinks
other
these things,
opportunities.
Maya.
you don't really know me to say what I watch, do you, Kamara?
Yeah.
So to
We
assume that
can't tell by just by what you're saying.
but to assume that it's to assume that it's fine. But regardless of whether it's on a clip or in a stream that I've watched, he said it and he believes it, and he constantly and he's consistently negative. So for
Context
me,
And
means
he
everything.
tweets and he tweets things too. He
and
tweets
he
too.
tweets it.
Context
Yeah,
is
So
he tweets.
everything.
so there. Telling a woman, where's the context, and who's provoking a man telling a woman that if she got raped, that she chose her rapist? And I would ask him, what does a rapist, and what does a
Do
rapist
you
look like?
see how the women?
So since wait a minute, since we allegedly choose our rapists, right? Tell us what a rapist actually looks like, so we can make sure we avoid them. Can he do that? So anybody that was
Yo,
here and look at a woman,
Can you choose
say,
better clothing to wear in public
excuse
that's
me,
not revealing where you
excuse
have your
me,
titties with just the pastels over the nipples?
that's
You're
sad.
literally going out in the public with the bubble skirts.
Do
What
you
Mike
know?
like?
Do you know that
What Mike?
most women who are sexually assaulted or sexually abused or raped were fully clothed when it happened? They weren't revealing anything.
Really? Who told you that?
please, can we stop with the great
Who told
stuff?
you that?
We're
Yo,
just talking
yo,
about something
let's
completely off the topic. I think as far as Myron, he's not everybody's cup of tea, and I get
The
that.
fact
And
that you say that a woman deserves to be raped because of what she has
Oh
on
my
is
God,
frightening
please,
as hell.
Jazz, please,
That's what
I
she
feel
please.
said.
like
No,
everyone
you
has.
see.
I feel like everyone has
Yeah,
who
Brittany.
they listen to, who they like to listen to. Like,
Y'all defending this rhetoric and
he's
want me
not
to
every.
find it's
Wait,
weird.
go ahead, Brittany.
I feel
Start over,
like
Brittany. Say that
not-
again.
I feel like he's just not everyone's cup of tea, which is respectable. I get that. I do feel like if you listen to what he says, he makes sense in what he says. You have to put together the whole story instead of things of what he says, because if you're actually listening, intentionally listening, it makes sense. A lot of people aren't going to listen to him because they've already made up their mind that they don't like him. They don't like his content, and that's fair. But at the same time, if you're what he has more than one show. When you had said, who does he do this for, or who is he helping? Technically, he started off by trying to help men. And whether we as women agree or not, he has said that he has helped men. So that's not our concern because we're women. So how he has helped them really is no concern to us. At the end of the day, I feel like I've learned a lot of, as a Black woman, I've learned a lot of things from Myron. I listen when he speaks because a lot of things that he says, he makes sense. I'm not like a fan, but I've watched a lot of his shows and I feel like he is very intelligent. So I feel like just because I might not like everything he says doesn't mean that I can't still actively listen to what he's saying and pick up and take things from what he says that makes sense.
I'm not saying that you're wrong about that, Brittany. I'm not saying anything. Everything that I've mentioned, these are not just hot flash clips. The particular one that I'm talking about now, I can pull the video up because I see his people in the stream claiming that I'm lying. I will pull that video up where he is sitting around a panel of women and saying that, well, if you got raped, you chose them.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's on the KKK hood. He has a gun that shoots out the N-word.
I've watched that episode.
Brittany, there's no defending shit like that.
It's not about defending
anything like that.
It's not about defending it. It's putting the actual facts behind what he's saying.
Where's the fact about choosing a great?
No,
what his
exact words were is women can put themselves in position in situations where things can happen. We all know that every man in this world is not perfect. We all know that there are criminals in the world. Do we know? We know that there's criminals.
So now we're making excuses.
In the world. We know that there are black people in the world. Put it like this. If we know that there's bad people in the world, right? Whether it's a man, woman, whoever, let's say men. We know that there are certain bad men in the world. Not every man, but there are bad men in this world. We know that. So if we as women, decide to go outside with showing
we should be able to do that without risking the men not having enough self-control when they see women in clothing. It should not be
sexual liberation that women want.
And the focus should be on men fixing around women, not policing women's bodies.
It's not policing their bodies.
That is, you're saying that cover up. Meanwhile, women are
No, I'm not telling you have to cover up. I'm saying that something could potentially happen because there's bad people.
I gotta mute everybody for a second. Jazz, you got on Kamaya and asked her to let you finish respectfully. And so Brittany has been patient. And so you got to let her finish her point.
All right, my bad. You got it, girl.
You got to let her finish her point. Go ahead, Brittany.
You on mute,
hold on. You muted.
Yeah, I'm mute, Brittany.
There you go.
Sorry. Okay. No, I was just saying that I do understand that hearing something like that does come off sounding crazy. Like, what do you mean a woman can? But if we know that there are bad people in the world, we can't control every man in the world. We can't do that. So if we know that and we put ourselves out there in a particular manner, it could potentially happen. That's all I'm saying. Is it right? No, but it could possibly happen. It can possibly happen to a child who's not doing that because there are bad people in the world. So we should protect ourselves and not put ourselves in certain situations or out there in a way where something could happen because there are bad people in the world. That's all I'm saying. Is it right for it to happen? No, I'm not saying that it's right. I vividly remember Myron talking about that. And I vividly remember him word for word saying, women, when you dress a certain way, you are putting yourself out there for something to potentially happen to you. I vividly remember seeing that, watching that whole entire live that he had. And the women were in an uproar because just like your response, they didn't, in my opinion, listen to what he was trying to say. They took, oh, you shouldn't dress a certain way, and they ran with that. And they got defensive. And it's like, you can dress how you want to dress. Nobody's saying you can't. But when you do that, you're putting yourself in a big world that we live in where there are bad people in the world that may potentially do something to you. That's all he was saying.